Hello again, it's me, earthmanbrick. What? You were expecting someone else? We're back to one of the Warcradle Scenics MDF kits, the Tavern. It's from the bulk Gloomhaven set I got ages ago, and I'm still working my way through. There'll be links down below to the other builds from that kit. Make sure you click on them. It took about under half an hour to pop out all of the pieces, and then just over 2 hours to assemble. So, here's the funky time-lapse of that process. Pushing out the pieces was easy enough, but if you ever try to make this kit, then don't do what I did. All of the pieces are coded with the online instructions, as it's much easier to assemble with all the pieces still in the sprue frame, so you only pop out what you need when you need it. But I'll zap you back to myself to discuss how I add to the piece once fully assembled. Hello there, it is I, earthmanbrick, and today I'm just going to be talking about the weathering on this build. Now, you can see on the top here, we've got some weathered, it looks like a greeny kind of moss. And the way we do that is we just take an old dip container, like this, add in some PVA, some green paint. This is just a tester pot, which you can get for dirt cheap. These are about £1 each or something, and you get oodles and canoodles of paint in those. And you just shred up some toilet paper. Just nice thin strips like this. And just shred it all up. I won't do all the shredding here because that would take bloody ages. And then once you sort of mix it up and turn it into a mush, you can then just smudge it on. And you can see it in places like here. There was a great big honking gap there. And I've just kind of clunged it up. And it's great for a gap filling exercise. In fact, full confession, with this build, I actually built it all up wrong because apparently all these bits here, they're all supposed to be meticulously put in a specific place. These parts weren't interchangeable at all. So what I ended up having to do was I used some snips to snip off the connecting nubs, and then I just hot glued the thing together. So there was big globules of hot glue, which doesn't take paint very well at all. So I used this weathering technique with the toilet paper mush to cover over a lot of the big globules of hot glue. And that tidied it up quite nicely. I've also added a whole bunch of little grass tufts and things here and there. You can see them more closely on these bits. But yes, I figured I'd show you how we get this whole kind of white stain bit here. And what I do is I've got white house paint in here, just in an old chewing gum tub. And what I do is I use a spoon and I decant it and fill up the chewing gum tub with a great big tub. Jingsy, that's heavy. In fact, how much is in here? 5 litres paint in this. I think I got this for a £5 because there was a sale on at Asda. So yes, and this is going to last me probably for my entire life. Ugh. Just put the spoon away. We don't need the spoon right now. And what I do is I take our paint here, just give it a good mix so we get some in the lid here. And this is a beautiful thing about these pots, these chewing gum tubs, which I highly recommend.
is that they work the very same way as the regular kind of Citadel paint tubs, except they don't fall over as easily. Now, what I use is a honking great big brush, like this one here, and then just get it onto the ends, the tips of the brush there, and then I take off the excess, just like so, wipe it on the rim, and then we've got just enough there to start stippling. There we go. And that's it, suitably weathered. The darkening. What we do for that is we take a kind of medium-sized brush like this one here, and we use some oil paints. Now, when you're using oil paints, you can't just clean your brush with water. You've got to use alcohol or paint thinner. So I've got a little jam jar here. It's got some alcohol in here. It's like isopropanol, and it's quite good for cleaning your brushes. And what I tend to do as well is, you can see there's like a whole bunch of sediment there at the bottom, and that's all your kind of paint pigment, and you can use that for weathering up as well. You can see I'm using it to kind of glaze and take off some of the stuff there. But if you use your oil paint, just take a healthy splodge out, not too much. Just pop it on the lid here. Water it down ever so slightly using the paint thinner. Just take off the excess. And yeah, you just get right underneath those bits. That'll look fine when it dries, and will resemble much like the rest of the areas we've got here. And any areas that are a bit too white, like this whole bit here, you can just kind of tone down again. And I like to go into the corners and the recesses. See that bit there? It's a bit too white. Same there. Yes, now it just looks like regular weathering. But hopefully that'll help you out and give you a few more ideas as to how we go about weathering. Now, I could talk about other techniques, like how we do rust, but I'll leave that for another time.
Did add a few more bits, including some homemade clumping foliage to act as bushes, adding a few notes of extra colour and detail to help break up the overall composition of the piece. But alas, that's all I've got for you this time. I hope you liked this one. I certainly did, and even though I built it wrong, I think it was easily salvageable. Hopefully it helps you guys too with a few ideas on how you can spruce up your builds or MDF kits. But it's that time again, so I shall bid you good riddance. See you again soon. Bye. What you saying, Poppy? I'm trying to do my outro here. Silence, beast. Good girl. Anyway, bye.